thoughts translate to actions, and you can watch as many money manifesting videos as you'd like. If you don't have the subconscious logic down, the real understanding, and there are so many myths about money that keep you poor. So today I'm gonna try to do as much as possible to get you out of that negativity, preventing you from getting rich. First of all, of course, rich people are often seen as evil, bad guys, fat, greedy pigs. You really can't think about it like that if you want to become rich, because you don't want to be seen as evil. You don't want to look yourself as, oh, I didn't earn that, and guilt also translates into not achieving it, because you set yourself a real boundary. So make sure you realize that there's good and evil in rich and poor. Just when the rich make evil things, it's more in the news because they have a bigger impact. Money doesn't make evil, you get it by working hard, by providing value. And providing value basically means, for example, when I'm shipping something from China to the customer pays me and I pay the supplier, so I get the difference between what the customer wants to pay from how much I can get it from the supplier. So this is my value gap, and it's all about finding these value gaps where people have problems. And this can even be in investing. When you buy stocks, you provide value by somebody else wants to sell them, and the other way around. Providing value can also mean in terms of risk or qualifications. For example, Klarna is a good example. Klarna basically says, okay, we're gonna provide value to the customer who pays by giving them an option to pay later. Of course, we make money on that too, and the company that receives the money, they're gonna pay them too, so they are having the risk of the customer not paying because they are paying upfront. Then you can upsell and stuff, and there are like sums of money, like just so much money going around, new problems every day. Like there's so many opportunities. Having a lot of money is really good because you fill the system with money. And this means when you spend more, other people get more money and they spend more, and the entire economy is growing. Everybody is profiting since people are also hiring. So at the end of the funnel, you get all the people that get more jobs and therefore can also pay more. But also, Jeff Bezos said this like a few days ago in an interview, I don't have to donate my money. Like I can, but the donation of my money is not gonna be equally as impactful as, like by far not as the companies you build. A company that makes profit by definition provides the value, because you didn't steal the money, right? Like you didn't take their credit card information. Customers want to pay for that because they want it. You didn't force them. So you're providing something that a lot of people want. And that's how also your net worth is calculated, right? Like how much value did you provide versus how much did you spend. If you sell 1 million cars, a price of 100,000, then you provided 100,000 products to 1 million people. So of course you're gonna be rich. Money is essentially energy, because you can't destroy it, you can't create it. If you create more money, put it in the system, you destroy the value of the other things. It can only be translated, you don't make money, you always take it from body, because he wants to give it to you for providing a certain value. So your net worth is how much you provided versus how much. It's like an energy equation, bro. And then if you spend that money, having fun or on other services, then that's the value you took. For example, the value you took from your employees, you still have to pay them. And then there's some people, still evil, Elon Musk, he has a team, he's not a genius, he has a team and everything, he doesn't deserve this. Yes, but he's also not born with that team, he has also to hire them to build it. Intrinsic value, hiring or sourcing products from other companies, but then also external value by actually providing the service that people pay for. I had 50 orders, everybody was happy, and then like one customer had 2 orders and he charged me back on both of them, and I lost 300 euros in chargebacks in like a single day. And the product was custom and it said no refund for custom. In the policies, it was after the deadline and he still got the money back. So the customer most of the times is also in the right of the stealing mentality. Like there's so much money, they print so much money, bro. There's so much circling around. You just have to, from this money run, where so much money is just going through between every transaction and stuff, and you just have to be there with a little bucket and grab some of that money. And once you find one of these gaps, you can, and also it's not tied to time or anything. Like providing value does not have to be match with time. For example, bro, if I provide value for YouTube by uploading shorts, and YouTube makes money from the ad revenue, the ad spender makes money because they spend money on the ads and they get a return. The customer enjoys it because they are watching the short, like that's what they wanted to do, so we will provide it. And that's the effectiveness of it. Everywhere there's demand, there's also supply, because it's a money opportunity. And if you try to, tax the rich more, they're just gonna say, oh, I still want to earn the same amount of money, so I'm just going to raise prices. So it's going to cause inflation, and the only ones suffering from these, oh, we're going to tax the rich, are the poor, because they now have to pay more. The same goes, of course, for if you say, oh, we're just going to give the poor more money. Handouts do not work. The only way to get money is by providing it. If you give them handouts, the money is going to be at the same place again, because they spend it in the grocery shop. Or, for example, so many more poor people have money that it's going to spike inflation, because now, oh, everybody can pay it, so we have to raise prices, so we're not going out of storage. So it's gonna spike inflation again, and at the end it's always the poor people that suffer from this. So by saying, oh, we have to help the poor by giving handouts or taxing the rich, you're actually doing more damage. I was posting on YouTube, 6 years ago. People looked at it like it was stupid. I didn't get paid anything, and then I thought, okay, I'm gonna make dropshipping. I posted the dropshipping videos on YouTube. Suddenly, out of nowhere, my YouTube channel gets monetized because I'm just hitting good views 4 months after stopping to run the product, like randomly. And now in the last 4 days, I just reposted Instagram reels that this guy is not posting on YouTube, so I found the gap, and now I made like 200 euros the last 4 days just by 2 or 3 minutes a day of effort of just downloading videos from Insta, taking it to YouTube. Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? All this like brainwashing when kids start to go to school, like what do you want to be, and like one dedicated, like, bro, I make money from that, I can advertise that, I can monetize that, I do that, and then I find an opportunity there, like you can be completely free, and it can be from completely unexpected ways you didn't even like anticipate before. Always try to find something that has like an exponential payout, so the more you work on it, the higher your payouts are gonna be, and eventually you can outsource it. Your money can be taken from you anytime. The only thing you owe in is your mindset. So just improve the person you are, and maybe the connections, the network you have, of course, but also your mentality and your way of finding opportunity. Because then, if you take money away from a rich guy, he's gonna be up there very soon again. You should also treat money as a subject, so not just, you can be a super good soccer player or whatever and get super high income, but then you are still poor because you don't know how to invest it, you don't know how to spend it, you lose it quickly. Because if you are not a $10 million person, then you won't keep that. If you win the lottery, there's the saying, if you win the lottery, you better become a millionaire as a person, because that's your net worth is always gonna be attached to that. Most rich people, they also, you can look at this up in the interviews and stuff, they don't care about the number on their screen, if it's 5 billion, 6 billion. They want to have an impact. When you spend it money, and this is the function of capitalism, everywhere where people spend money, where you can solve bigger problems, so for more people, the more money is gonna flow your way. And especially, if you have high margins, you can advertise more, and it's all gonna store at that point. And then you can invest more into hiring employees, so into developing better products. It's all gonna get reinvested, and that way, the system grows even more. More employees, more service. The more demand something has, the more helpful it is, the more it will grow over time. It's just a self. Even if everybody acts in their own interest, they're still gonna provide the value where demand is. They're helping others by acting in their own interest. In my opinion, the taxes should be like super low, because that way companies can reinvest more, and the economy is gonna grow more, and the growth is gonna outpace their taxes. So it's kind of crazy to me, that like, especially the German government is super like bureaucracy and high taxes, and we're gonna tax everything. Like, you're just gonna slow everything. You're not harming anyone by getting rid. Like, everybody has the opportunity. There's something different if you actually, donate to people, to kids that don't have food or something, because they don't have a fair chance. By definition, their value is gonna be equaling to money. And of course, like, there's some people that get into this, oh, stocks always crash because they listen to the news and stuff, then they are gonna get away from it and then they're gonna stay poor. They are just too emotional, you know, because stocks are risky. They go up and down. Yeah, bro. Stocks, companies. Companies, if good and stock price fair, then company grow over time, stock price too. Not, now it's crashing, now it's going up, now this and that. Inflation, you know, high inflation, not good. Prices always rise high, can crash economy. Deflation, even worse. So we should say it like, you know, these 2% inflation. Deflation, you know, people say, oh, tomorrow price is cheaper, I'm not buying today. Companies say, oh, nobody buying today, we're gonna make even cheaper. It's a cycle. Prices always get cheaper, nobody's buying, nobody is getting employed, nothing gets getting produced. People are starting to starve and the economy is crashing. Everybody's not good. And it's not like a pie you're taking money away from. Like, as I said before, by providing value, you just circulate it in the system. If the government were to say where the money is allocated, of course, like less money to the more important things, people would get into a lot of trouble. The government should provide like for safety and like basic human stuff. But if you say, oh, let's make living a human right and we're gonna make every apartment, you know, you can't make profits on apartments anymore. If nobody can make profits on apartments anymore, there's no incentive. And that's the main point. If there's an incentive to build apartments, people are gonna build them. If you can't make profit anymore, guess what? Nobody's gonna care for them. If your apartment is falling apart, you're not gonna renovate it. By having this capitalism, you have everything in place by definition. Every demand is filled. The money is exactly where it needs to be. There's incentive to help. I'm not trying to throw terms in like communism and stuff. I don't want to term this out. I want to be very clear with my words. If you donate, you know, you even buy the idea of becoming a philanthropist and stuff. By making money, you help the circulation of money. You are doing good things. There's nothing, not one single logic that would say making money is evil. And there's so much going around, so much money going around, so many opportunities every minute. And there's also people saying, oh, how do you think it's fair that you make 50 euros? I know it's not a lot, but you make 50 euros a day for 3 minutes of effort just reposting. First of all, it's not about being fair. It's about I provide value in a matter of many advertisers getting their products sold on YouTube. So it's always like there's no value gap. It's always fair value. Also, of course, I earn nothing for like a few years. And even if I instantly start earning, it's just value, you know. If it would be easy, then everybody could do it, I guess. You know, if you say, do you think it's fair for your little effort? Yeah, then do it yourself. You know, because if you can do it, then this would be amazing. You know, it's like just supply and demand, you know. If everybody can become a doctor in school, then of course it's gonna pay less because the supply is higher. Not everybody can do this YouTube thing. Everybody can do it, but not everybody. No, like there's no, you don't get put in school, you don't have. That's why also the people that say, oh, money is evil, I don't want to be rich, are the first ones that, you know, beg for money as soon as they need some, because they have such an evil relationship to money that they don't have any, always spend it because they feel like they don't deserve. You know, you can even like charge higher prices, and just by that you can actually provide more value, because then you can build out your services more and you can advertise more, so more people see it. But then also higher perceived values, often people take it more seriously, you know, like a $5,000 wine is gonna be better. If you also spend like money in a stock market, you know, or like crypto, you help people raise capital for projects or companies to make new products. Everything is super good, and it should be something out of your heart if you actually want to help. Like there's, you know, some people that say, oh, we should do this and that with the money of the rich guys. Like, guys, it's not your money. These guys earned it. And if you actually want to help, make your own money and start donating it, or whatever you want to do. I think most of these guys would come to a realization that donating is good, but then also you have to provide a lot of value to get to that money, you know. Emotionally attached, we're gonna make living in homes a human right, but they don't think about the side that they are actually doing more damage, because now nobody's incentivized anymore. If you give everyone 300, the inflation is gonna outpace these 300 almost mathematically exactly the same way. So you might save 300 by making schools free or whatever, but then this exact amount of money is gonna just be in the higher prices of other goods and services that you have to buy. Oh, I wanna be a human rights activist on the front page of like me, I'm the hero. And also it's gonna make things more accessible, for example, for everybody. Like now we have AI, we have crypto, we have the internet, we have, like, bro, people are talking to their computers, and we have all these accessibilities. It's so easy to provide value because we have so much speed and access for everybody. And and this is just gonna grow, everybody's gonna get more access, and more people are gonna get access, and that's all due to because this effect, supply and demand, money flows, attention goes. The money distribution always stays where the value is. Like, I really heard that in class. Like, I think it's getting more and more in that direction. People are talking, oh, I don't want to make money because then I'm one of these evil rich guys. Like, you are so brainwashed that you want to stay poor, bro. Keep scrolling on your iPhone, bro. They like billionaires and get rid of them and stuff. Like, they don't understand. Like, let's say you have a company, and then you are successful, I don't know, you have a grocery store, then you scale that nationwide, you could get to this billionaire status. Like, do you get rid of them now, or like of course there should be laws and stuff. I'm not saying like you should use child labor, like unpaid child labor, of course, like some child labor, if if the families actually want that because can't afford food other ways, of course companies should act to laws. Even like the currency effect is crazy, you know, like if you live in lower paying countries, you also have to pay less for things you consume, so it all equals out, and you know, people are gonna get hired based on value, because why wouldn't I, you know, like if women were get to paid less, why wouldn't I just hire a woman if she does the same? Of course, like some jobs that are more physically requiring, of course men can provide more value by doing that. You know, also this like stressing aspect of it. Just is like, oh, I'm gonna get poor, I'm gonna be poor, I'm gonna like, bro, everything is so expensive. Like, it's like sitting in the car and saying, please, I don't want to crash, and like, you're gonna crash. There's this saying that a rich guy and a poor guy are both self-made, and only the rich guy wants to admit it. If you say, but the prices are too high, like, bro, if one company would offer the price too high, then another company would take in and say, no, we're gonna make the price cheaper. So it's always like every gap is gonna get filled, and like this is actually like a perfect system because it's mathematically based. But if you spend money, you wasted it. No, it always stays in the system. If you spend it, just other people get it, and they might donate. So it's not like this money is gone, and it's also not about the money you make. Most of the time, I always think about it like, what skills do you learn? Like, how's the future after that gonna look like? What person do you become? What skills do I learn? How valuable is this for my next? What person do I become? What opportunities do I have after that? You know, for example, I was thinking about, you know, I'm making money with stocks and I'm multiplying it. If I could get like a job for half a year or a few months, you know, I wouldn't just be with 10k with a little bit more money. I could spend more on stocks and get sooner to 100k or something. But I also thought about, okay, what character, and I don't want to be, you know, the environment of a job, the thing that my character comes with that. And I would rather do it from zero, because then I have the actual skills down and multiply it that way. I also, you know, don't want to win the lottery. I don't want like free handouts if you're not grown into that. And also, you know, for anybody else, it can ruin their life because it gets away the drive, you know, like, let me win the lottery or whatever, bro. I'm just gonna give it away, not even to friends, because it's like super damaging in my opinion. So I really wanna build it from zero, all in. To that is always just make more money, because for example, I was paying a fee in the library, right? I was delaying my book, I had to give it back, had to pay like 20 euros in fee, and while I was paying it on the counter, like really I got an order for 60 euros, and this is like 50% margin, so I already made the money back in that second. Just about how much money you can make, not saving, you know. And also money most of the time marks the truth, you know, meaning where money flows, oftentimes, you know, people put their money where they actually think something is, you know. That's why Polymarket is a good way to check the news, you know, don't get deceived by birds, trust the money flow. And then also when people say, oh, but he has a net worth of 100 billion, like some people don't get that it's all in just stocks, and the money is not really like liquid, you know, because you can't take that out without crashing the stock. My history teaches that, oh, I don't want him to have 100 billion. Hey, bro. And I want to end with the myth of, oh yeah, but money is not making me happy. You know, of course money is not making you happy. Health is wealth. You get happier by freedom, and that should be like the most clear. Like, of course, can make you happy if you build companies, you get projects, your stocks go up. Of course, like Lambo and shit, like probably also by donating. No money. Or the opposite, you know, if you have like was stress always about, you know, I can't pay this, I have to look at the prices. So it helps you stay afloat, provide for people you care about. These are just the mindset things. The video besides me now on the screen, it can also be helpful for you. If you have any questions or any recommendations, let me know. See you.